Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's webinar, Apps Top Trailblazers Can't Live Without. My name is Miriam Khan. I'm on the community marketing team here at AppExchange, and today we have here with me our esteemed host, Geraldine Gray. So during today's live webinar, you'll get to meet some Salesforce customers and learn all about their favorite apps and how they're using them. So before we begin, I have a few things that I'd like to cover. First is please follow along on Twitter at AppExchange. And over there, you can see that we'll be tweeting the apps from today. So make sure to check us out and you can share your thoughts over there on Twitter with us. Also, if you have any questions for our customers, feel free to drop it in the chat box. We will be happy to answer any questions that you may have. We'll also have this webinar recorded and shared on your YouTube channel, on our YouTube channel later today. So you can rewatch the video and share it with your friends. All right, so now I'll pass it off to our awesome customers and Geraldine Gray, a Salesforce MVP and founder and CEO of Endium. Hi, Geraldine, how are you today?
Hey, thank you, Miriam. I'm very happy to be here for another one of our apps that Top Trailblazers Can't Live Without sessions that we've been doing every month for about a year now. I'm really happy to see that Canada is representing both sides of our customer success teams here today. So let's start off with Alex and Nick Panther. So Alexandra, please go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us what you're doing in your role right now and how long you've been working with Salesforce for.
Hi, Geraldine. Hi, everyone. Thanks for having me today. So my name is Alexandra, and I've been working with Salesforce since 2014. I've been with ARIA Solutions for a little over a year now, and I'm supporting their internal org, designing and developing Salesforce solutions and supporting third-party integration. ARIA Solutions is a company that's been on the market for quite a long time, since 1997. And they're specializing in customer engagement center. They are Amazon partner, Genesis partner, and since 2014, they are also Salesforce consulting, several partner consulting, and ISV partner. So the org that I'm supporting was, you might say, born in 2013. We're using our Salesforce org to completely manage the business. So we have all teams in the org, from marketing and accounting through product development to our amazing sales team and the customer support team. And since we also have apps on AppExchange, we're also using the org to develop and test those apps. So we have around 100 users, full-time Salesforce users, and maybe around a couple of hundreds of community users. So it's not the biggest org, but it's a pretty complex to manage.
Perfect. Okay, and you're going to be sharing your stack with us in just one moment. And you're based in Canada. Which part of Canada are you from, or in?
I'm based in Vancouver, and my company is based in Calgary, so I'm 100% remote.
Perfect. Okay, thank you. And Nick, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself, tell us a little bit about yourself and how long you have been using Salesforce.
Excellent. Thank you, Geraldine. My name is Nick Panther. I have been a Salesforce user since 13 years ago, which would be what?
2006.
2006.
You're old school.
Yeah, it's
green
kind of
screens. That was back in the day when it was like green screens and gray screens.
Yeah, I remember the original tabs actually. So Lightning is very new and very different from where I started. No, I've been a long-time user and a long-time consultant helping other companies put in Salesforce. Currently, I live in Ottawa, Ontario, where I have for the last 25. The organization that I'm with now is Acumen Solutions. We are one of 6 global strategic SIs in the Salesforce partner ecosystem. I have worked with and have administrated Salesforce instances as small as 3 people and as large as 350,000.
Huge. And you've worked in the nonprofit and the enterprise space, correct?
I have been working in the nonprofit space for the last 6 years, helping nonprofits in North America and Europe work with .org and with the Nonprofit Success Pack. Also been volunteering with nonprofits that have been using Salesforce since 2010, and also have for-profit experience with public and private sector.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Well, I'm really looking forward to seeing your app and learning the story that you can share with us about how customers can use apps from the AppExchange to help make life easier for them. So back to Alex. Alex, remind us again, you have, did you say 100 users? And you've been using Salesforce since 2013, is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay, perfect. So Alex, let's take a look at your stack, and then let's walk through how you're using Salesforce in real life to solve some of the problems that you have or have been able to solve for in the business. So if I heard you correctly, you're using Salesforce from all the way from lead, so net new name, through to closed won invoice, correct?
Yeah, that's okay. Correct.
Then you have the added complexity in that Aria is also a Salesforce implementation partner, and that you build apps for the AppExchange.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, perfect. So why don't you talk us through the journey of how you use these apps to solve problems, starting with Field Trip, known to lots of people, but maybe not to everybody, and most fantastic because it's free.
Yeah, so like I mentioned before, I started working with Aria maybe around a year ago, and I'm the first full-time internal employee whose job is only to support their Salesforce org. So before me, there was a long line of consultants working on the org, making the change, doing the configuration without documenting it properly or even leaving field description. So when I came to the org, I got a long list of requirements from various teams, and I didn't have too much time to do the whole discovery phase. So Field Trip is the app that allows admin to run reports on custom and standard field usage, and I think it's really awesome, especially for new admins that come to old orgs or the legacy orgs like myself. App is really easy to install. It's pretty straightforward. It's really simple to use. So when I came, there were hundreds of fields on, maybe even a couple of hundreds of fields on dozens of page layouts. And it was really hard to see if those fields were just the legacy stuff or how much it was used. So I used the Field Trip to run the analysis, see the reports on how those fields are used and how much of those fields is actually populated. And what I love about this app is that actually it produces the report that shows percentage of the records that have certain fields populated. So admins can have an idea not only if that field was used, but if that field was actually used before, if it's still being used, how important it is, should it still be on page layout, and similar things. The good thing that I also like is that those reports can be exported. So you can actually export those reports into Excel and manipulate it further, do some filtering or pivot tables to actually get a better insight. And before Field Trip, I used to use Eclipse. And as we all know, Eclipse is more complex to set up and to create a project to pull all the metadata from the org and then do the search. And with Field Trip, it's really simple to create the filters to pull the report. And I like the fact that you can also use SQL queries if you want to run more specified search. So it really fits all kind of level of knowledge for admins.
Perfect.
And yeah, and if the reports are taking too much time to be generated, as was in my case, the app also has an email alert option, so you can run the report, go back to your work, and then you'll get just a notification when the report was done.
Okay, and then you use that hand in hand with the config workbook, correct?
Exactly. So in my discovery page, the field usage was just one of the things that I needed to look in, but I had to do it. I had to get familiar with my org, and I had to do it fast. So config workbook is definitely admin's best friend, and this is the app that I always have in my stack, regardless of the org that I work on. So it's an app that actually gives the option to analyze and extract complete metadata in Excel file. So it's actually pull all the information about the org, all objects, complete configuration, anything from profile permission and page layouts to approval processes, even custom metadata. Anything can be exported into Excel and then manipulated further, filtered out, and you can have the complete overview again without using any of the developer tools, any of the IDEs. it has really straightforward interface, and it's very user-friendly, so it provides really a user-friendly experience. And why I loved it the most with ARIA.org is because ARIA has a large number of permission set and validation rules, and I don't have any better way of looking into them and comparing and see what's in there except using for the configuration workbook.
Okay, perfect. And then so that takes care of the admin side of the house. Tell us a little bit about the dashboard panel. What does it do and how do you use it?
Well, dashboard panel is a Lightning component that allows users to pick what dashboard they want displayed, and it's mostly used by my sales team. Sales team is always on the move. They move fast. They want to have insight into different metrics, and the need for their analytics data is changing very frequently. So before I used Dashboard Pal, I got requests once a week or every 2 weeks to change what dashboard was displayed on a homepage. And this is the app that actually gives user complete control over what they're going to see on the page. So it's really simple to install. You just drag it on any page and can be used on any of the Lightning pages. And the only thing that needs to be adjusted can be title and height, so it can fit on any of the Lightning pages. And it has the little option, like a little gear icon, that allows user to choose any of the dashboards from all the available dashboards in the org. It's really convenient because it remembers the last selection, so user can select the dashboard, log out, change the page, and when they come back, the last selected dashboard will be there. So I think this is the app if your users are struggling with Lightning because its reporting can be hard for them. This is the app that will make users love Lightning.
Perfect. Okay. And then very quickly, recycle records. It does exactly what it says, correct? But it does it with speed and efficiency.
Yeah, so it's replacing recycle bin in Lightning. It's a lack of recycle bin in Lightning can be really painful. And this is the app that just can be pulled on any of the Lightning pages. Like you said, it has the same functionality. It prevents users from going back to Classic. They don't have to go back to Classic. And it has one additional option over the standard recycle bin, and that's the option to configure which deleted object user would like to see.
Okay, and then thinking about the sales process, you've got LinkedIn and you've got Celebrate Success. How do these two work together?
Well, LinkedIn Sales Navigator is mostly used by sales team to confirm if the data we have is correct and just to keep up with the leads and contacts that we have. So it's actually provides access to the LinkedIn data from Salesforce. They don't have to leave Salesforce to get a full LinkedIn functionality. It has all the options to find introductions, to see recommended leads, to check if like I said, if the data what we have is up to date, and to easily add leads and contacts from the component. The installation process can be complex, but there is a documentation that needs to be followed. And two really good options that this LinkedIn Sales Navigator has is that user can send email from Salesforce, so they can use LinkedIn email function. It's up to 90 emails per month per user, and they can track history and activity for the user for the leads and contacts they actually want to follow. And Celebrate Success is probably the most the app that brings most joy to the users. It's a component addition to the opportunity, and how it works is when opportunity stage is changed to closed one, it actually plays cheering sound and confetti animation. It's app that can be dragged on a Lightning record page, but it's not visible to users. It's just visible on the page edit. And with Spring 19, they introduced the button to mute sound because sound can be maybe too loud if somebody's working on a public place. So like I said, I'm 100% remote, and I think a lot of my Salesforce, sales users are always on the go. So this is the way to celebrate success together wherever we are.
Excellent, and I'm sure that everybody gets a round of applause as well as the pop of the confetti when it goes off in the office.
Exactly.
Yeah, fun. Okay, thank you, Alex. So if we have time at the end, I'd like you to think about and maybe answer this question afterwards. If you could have any app, paid, free, or dream app, what might that be? And then as we get to the end of the webinar, I'm going to come back and follow up with that question. So thank you for your contribution. Nick, Mr. Panta. So remind us again, Nick, you have been working with Salesforce since 2006?
I have, yes.
Okay, and what does your day-to-day role look like today? So what are you responsible for? What kind of challenges do you work with?
So my responsibility on a day-to-day is to make sure that our clients, so Salesforce users, are able to use their systems as well as possible. They complete projects with us. So I'm looking at multiple projects across the board, across geographies, across continents, to ensure that they are where they're supposed to be. I'm also conversing with clients and with prospects to answer any questions about Salesforce, about the ecosystem, about the Ohana, and helping to take people who have never heard of anything like the AppExchange or Astro, and helping them to navigate into the community so they understand and realize where to and how they can best utilize that to their personal successes.
Perfect. Okay, and so let's take a look at your stack and let's see how you're utilizing some apps to contribute to those successes. So starting with admin, very different from Alex's stack. Tell us a little bit about Appsona. What does it do and how do you use it to solve real problems?
Definitely. So Appsona for Salesforce is a great application that's well known with the nonprofit customers with Salesforce. As a nonprofit admin or as a nonprofit user, I have a lot of information that I'm trying to quickly get to, or even more important, if I receive my file that shows all of my donors and the donations, I have data that I want to get into Salesforce very quickly. And Appsona for Salesforce is a collection of admin tools that makes the life of a nonprofit admin or a nonprofit data admin that much easier. They allow for multi-object data import. So if you have one file that has information that spans both standard and custom objects, you can actually place that file in without having to worry about the stepped approach that we typically do with data migration. We also have the ability to do multi-object reviews and multi-object reporting. So I can actually filter my whole data set. So if I'm looking for donors from Southeast US that have been part of our online campaign for the last 6 months, I can actually look at multiple objects across my Salesforce organization and bring them into one report, which allows me to both report on that and also create custom dashboards based on that information as well. So it is a very, very powerful tool that has nonprofit pricing. So for nonprofit admins out there, it's something I highly recommend. And for-profit admins, you may not have donors, but you definitely have opportunities, you have campaigns. There are some really good use cases for Appsona for all admins and all data admins that I would recommend they take a look at.
Perfect. Okay, so I'm going to use Appsona to manage my org, keep my data clean, do mass data updates as needed. And then what do I use the Home Child Kanban for? Because that's free. So how does that work and what is it?
Yeah, so Home Child Kanban is an app from our wonderful friends at Salesforce Labs. And it takes one of my most favorite features within Salesforce Lightning and brings it to your home page or your related list. And what that is your Kanban views for your list views. Myself, I take care of multiple projects. I take care of multiple people in my day-to-day. I don't want to have to go into Salesforce and then go to the projects tab and then take a look at my Kanban. That's something I want to see front and center. And what Home Child Kanban allows you to do is take any of your Kanban list views and place it right on your home page. So first thing you see when you log in is where all your projects are. I'm looking at all my nonprofit projects in Canada. I want to make sure I understand where they are by stage. And if I have to action on that, I can use that Kanban view just as I would a Kanban view on a list homepage. You can also put that into related lists. So if you have projects that, and a project in any sense off of an opportunity, if you have any related lists that the children have their own Kanban, you could actually place it right on the parent record, so you don't have to click into it, or you don't have to click into list views to actually utilize that. You can get it right from the related list page of the parent.
Perfect. Okay, so everybody's going to be installing this to soup up their homepage as soon as our webinar is finished, and I'm sure that we're checking it out now. Tell us a little about. Suddenly there's been a surge on the AppExchange. Tell us a little bit about the Agile Accelerator. So it is a big tool. It can do a lot of things. If you were just going to pick 2 things to tell us about in 1 minute, what are those 2 features that you would pick from for the Agile Accelerator?
Excellent. So yes, the Agile Accelerator is a very large product that you can put, or a large app that you can put into your Salesforce. If you are running internal projects, and if your organization would like to utilize Agile in the same way that one of the most innovative, in fact, they've been rated the most innovative company in the world for multiple years, that is Salesforce, Agile Accelerator gives you the same tool set that they use to manage their projects. So you can, that's the first one. And the second one is, it is so easy to report from. Anytime you're running projects, the most important thing is the communication that's happening, whether it be creating new collateral for your sales team or creating a new product that you're taking to market. Having that communication and having the ability to report on your project, all of the steps that you're going through, is very, very important. And this is something that Agile Accelerator makes very easy for you. If you can use Salesforce, you can use this app.
Yeah, what I like about Agile Accelerator is that a lot of people outgrow some of their project management tools, and yet they're not big enough to maybe have Jira or DevOps or one of the very large solutions. So with Agile Accelerator, you can pick and cherry pick what's important to you at that point in time, and you can use as much or as little of the product as you want.
Exactly.
So thank you. So being mindful that we're about to run out of time,
yes.
Give us the quick scoop on Ring My Bell, and then we're going to hand over to Bill, who's here from Salesforce Labs, and he's going to talk to us as well. So Nick, 1 minute line on Ring My Bell, because we love the guys down in Australia that built this.
We definitely do. So Ring My Bell is a great application that allows you to celebrate the sales that are stored within your Salesforce. And it's exactly what it sounds like. When you put this application in, it automatically sets up so that you have a bell rung in your Salesforce instance every time that you set your opportunities to a closed won status. And it's a great indicator, and it's a great way to celebrate the successes of your organization.
Perfect. Thank you so much. So I'm going to, if we have time, I'm going to come back and ask you the same question that we'll be asking Alex, which is think about an app free, paid, invented, or something that doesn't yet exist, and what that might be. So moving quickly over, thank you, Nick. I'm moving quickly over to Bill. So Bill, you're the Senior Director for the ISV Technical Enablement team at Salesforce. Tell us a little bit about what your job involves, and then let's see the app that you're going to be talking about today.
Yeah, thank you. So my job basically is working with, I have a team of tech evangelists who are working with ISV partners, so many of the apps that you see today, and helping them architect their solution so that it works and functions for all releases. Part of my side job is I work with Labs, so I took over the Labs group 2 years ago, and I have a number of people on my team that are helping to make sure that some of these great ideas make their way to the hands of the users on this call and our customers. So remind us, the price of Labs apps is? Oh, it's out of this world. It's free. It is. It is priceless, but it is also free. So thank you, Bill. Let's take a look at the app that you have today. I'd never heard of it until you were talking about it earlier this week. So tell us all about this really, really neat app that I think could help a lot of people, especially in a service center environment. It is. So yeah, so we are excited to share with you today one of our newer solutions. It's Who's Viewing My Record. It was released last month, and it really provides a feature that is not available today as part of the Service Cloud. And in fact, The person who built this app is on my team and was just kind of combing some ideas and actually had saw this feature request come up quite a few times among our Service Cloud team. So what does it do, right? It is a solution that helps avoid the collision conflicts that you might see with real-time notifications when someone is viewing your record. So just imagine I'm looking at a case, I'm working a case, I'm a support agent, and I might need a tier 3 or 4 to look at my case, and I want to know if they're looking at it. And this app allows that to happen. The instructions that are provided are really easy to set up. I was actually able to set it up in a matter of minutes this morning, and it leverages the utility bar. So that's that little bar, if you're looking at the screenshot on the bottom left-hand corner, and it uses platform events, which is a newer technology that is able to subscribe and publish various different events of who is viewing something, and then it makes you aware of it. Lastly, I just want to say the creator of this Labs app, it is one of our new ones, would love to hear some feedback. So if you do get a chance to install it, please share your thoughts, write a review, and let us know how we can improve it.
I think it's going to be wicked good. I can see a lot of use cases for customers, as I say, who maybe have a service environment and they've got integrations coming from other environments. So they're already using platform events, and this is another way in which they can take advantage of that feature to solve a problem that they really do have when they have multiple agents working the same case at one time. So thank you so much. I'm going to quickly jump back to Nick and to Alex. Welcome you back on board, and maybe Bill as well. You might have some thoughts. Alex, any app free, paid, not yet in existence, what would your dream app be?
Well, I would say probably not yet in existence. I would love something like a schema builder for my users to draw their business process, so we can avoid misunderstanding with terminology and those all long meetings to clarify things.
Check out Elements Cloud.
Yes,
that might help you.
Yeah, thank you.
That's pretty handy, and it does your existing processes, and I think maybe you could leverage some of that for designing future processes as well. Nick, free, paid, dream. You have lots of time on your hands to think about this. What does your dream app look like?
Actually, I think that my dream app is already in existence, and I talked about it first. Epsona for Salesforce, and I really do love the company that's created the application. They've done a good job continuing to build on top of it, and I would love to have even more people using it and throwing more ideas their way, because making the life of the admin and the life of the data admin, even more importantly, that much easier, makes Salesforce that much more cleaner and more useful for everyone. And the more that people use it, the better it is.
Excellent. Bill, do you have any thoughts, or do you have any secrets about what you might be working on next?
Oh, one of them that we are working on, I actually saw a demo of it today, is an app that uses Heroku and some artificial intelligence. So imagine that you have a question, and we're calling it Ask Appy, but it could be anything. And it's really like a search engine within Salesforce that is able to pull in various different sources from within Salesforce, out of Salesforce. I mean, how many times do you have so much information that just lives out of Salesforce? And what it does is it curates it, provides a searching logarithm to it, and then what it does is it has some intelligence built into it so that when you do find something, it rates it, and then it makes sure that it rises to the top. It's something that probably won't see it for another 6 months, but it is something that we're working on. And again, the title of the name is just, for now, it's called Ask Appy, and it pulls in various different content, and it makes it available as a really nice searching engine for things that live in Salesforce and out of Salesforce.
Love it. And it sounds like it's getting ready to be maybe available by Dreamforce.
We would hope.
Maybe.
We had some new, yes, hopefully.
Maybe.
Safe harbor.
Okay. Thank you. So thank you, Team Canada. Alex and Nick, you've done an outstanding job. And thank you, Bill, for joining us as our special guest this month. I'm going to hand back over to Miriam, and she's going to wrap up with a few thoughts.
Thanks, Geraldine, and thank you everyone for joining today's webinar. We learned so much and saw a ton of awesome apps from our amazing customers. And Bill Mariani from Salesforce Labs, love those free apps. So everyone, make sure to join us next time. We're here every first Wednesday of the month. Our next webinar is on April 3rd, where we'll have Steve Moe with us, so you won't want to miss that. You're already registered for this webinar if you've registered once. So all you have to do is join, show up, same time, same place next month. All right, so thanks again, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you. Bye-bye.